Okay, so now that you know how to do the last row, getting the last column is a piece of cake. I'm going to show you. So that's the same thing. Essentially, we're going to the very rightmost column, which is XFD. I have no idea what number that is, but anyway, Excel knows. And then you're using the control left, and it zaps you over to the nearest non-adjacent cell, which is in column D. So when we want the dot column of that, it would actually give us the number 4. So let's try that. Alt F11. Looks like we didn't even finish our last sub. So let's copy and paste a little bit of this here. And I do want you to memorize how this works right here for the last row. Last column's the same deal. So let's Control V to paste. And we'll just rename this one, how about LC code, last column. And again, it doesn't matter what you call the variable. It doesn't matter what you call the sub. It's just up to you, okay? We're going to call this one last call. That's the variable. Let's start over from scratch. Equals cells, open parentheses. Now, the row that we want is not that rows.count that we just used. We want to use row 1 because that's where our headers are set up in this case. If they were set up on a different one, you had some spaces, start it in whatever row you want to start with. Put a comma. Now, what's the column that we want to use? Well, that's the kicker, isn't it? It's the far rightmost column. So, just like we used in rows.count, in this case, we're going to say columns.count. So, we want however many columns there are, that's the number that we want to scooch over to begin with. Then we're going to use .end. The .end is just like holding control and hitting left, down, up, or right, remember? So instead of using XL up or XL down, you say XL either to right or to left. Now where do you think we want to go? Right, XL to left. And we want the dot column of that answer. So let's see how that works. Hit F8. Last column is 4. Well, it did good. It did good. So that's how to get the last column.